Hello and welcome back to the CineClub podcast. I'm Connell.
I'm Matthew.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Billy. Today, in celebration of The Running Man releasing this weekend in the UK, we're exploring Edgar Wright's filmography, from his early British comedies to his big-budget Hollywood hits.
With that being said, which one of his films do you enjoy the most? For me, it's got to be Shaun of the Dead. I think it's between that, for my favourites, it's between that and Hot Fuzz, but it's more recently, it's become sort of cemented as Shaun of the Dead, because I just think, I think it was since we did the film festival, wink wink, spoken about that once. Seeing that on a big screen, I was like, this has got to be the best one.
Yeah,
For me, anyway.
It was very cool seeing it on the big screen.
Yeah. It took me quite a few watches because I really didn't like it the first time I watched it. Like I didn't I didn't hate it. I just thought it was like really overrated because it was like one of those ones where I thought like I like watched it and I was like, it's because everybody had hyped it up so much. I think it's like how you felt going into Scott Pilgrim, where it was like everybody in my life had like built it up to be like, oh, it's like I mean, I think I said at the time it's like the sort of British film student film 101 where it's like everybody watches it and points out all of the little techniques and everything and it was built up really high and I watched it and I thought, oh, it's all right. But then it took us watching it again in the cinema because I saw it when it got re-released last year in the cinema before we even did the film festival. It took us watching it then to just like take it at face value and I was like, oh, actually this is really good. I actually really like this now because I wasn't overthinking it. I think that was the problem. I went in the first time, like, watching it for the first time, thinking, oh, this is going to, like, blow my mind. And then I was like, oh, it's all right. It's pretty good. And then I was like, oh, no, it is actually really good. I just was expecting too much.
Yeah.
It's so good, man. Sure,
It is
it's just
great.
brilliant.
It's just funny as well, isn't it?
It's really funny.
It's emotional at times, like Philip in the car and his mum. Oh, the bit with his mum gets me every single time.
Yeah.
I don't know
Brutal,
what it is
isn't it?
about it, but it's just sad. And then you've got like you've just got Simon Pegg and Nick Frost I think at the best. I think they're so funny and the chemistry between them because they've been friends since like I think it was like the mid-80s and then they worked together on Spaced, which did Edgar Wright also do Spaced?
Edgar Wright did
He
Spaced.
might have.
So he did Spaced,
that was
and
sort of
then
the first time he worked
so
with them.
through like his films you really see them just their chemistry get better and better and better.
Yeah, see, I disagree that Shaun of the Dead's like Simon Pegg's best, but I'll save that for when we get onto one of the later films. 'Cause
Okay.
I think Shaun of the Dead's like his most famous role, and then like it's sort of just
maybe
under. I think
that
Nicholas
might
Angel.
be what I mean. Like that's
Yeah.
what you're known from. Like I think we're thinking of the same film
Yeah,
when you say like his
probably.
best in terms of acting.
Yeah, Shaun of the
But-
Dead kind of created his like star persona of like the sort of bumbling, friendly British guy who you could cast because it was like Shaun of the Dead was what got him in,
And it's
Mission
sort of become
Impossible and stuff
iconic.
like
Like
that.
at the Tyneside, I saw someone dressed as Sean. And someone
yeah,
was dressed
yeah.
as Ed. So
Yeah,
it kind
It's
of
such an
shows-
easy
quite
costume,
popular,
actually.
isn't
I
it,
think
for
they did that
costumes,
last year.
like.
It's a really good one.
Not a single
And the-
person out on Halloween now
Yeah.
who I don't see with a Sean costume.
Yeah.
Well, it's gone from like a homage to the classic Romero zombie films to like
Yeah.
being homaged in so many other things. So like, bizarrely enough, I'm sure they show up in Phineas and Ferb for a cameo.
Show up in
Nobody
the show up in Scott Pilgrim anime. Show up. I was watching Scream 4 the other day, and I'm watching Shaun of the Dead in that, which is really weird because it's like I was like Wes Craven, you know, like
Yeah.
now including like this British little indie comedy sort of horror film. It's like it's mental,
It's
but
weird.
I think one of my favourite bits in it is when like they're sneaking towards the Winchester and then they run into the other group and it's it's full of
yeah.
other like
Yes.
random British stars.
Mark
Yeah.
Freeman, Matt
And-
Lucas.
yeah.
That's
Reece
so
Shearsmith
funny.
as
It's
well.
just
Like,
it's so
Yeah.
random, but I just thought it was quite funny. I completely
one
forgot
of the
about it
best
until I
bits.
rewatched it.
yeah, that you just because like we just know all of them now, but like
Yeah.
all of these people were like total up and coming stars really at
Yeah.
the time, but they are really big now. But that's the thing. It's so British. Like even though it is like a very very good homage and like pastiche of those Romero zombie films, it's like it's British, but it's like it's also not annoyingly British because I sometimes watch British films and I'm like, oh, this is like so in your
Yeah,
face.
it's like
Yeah.
any
like
what the hell's he called?
Well, it's just
Ken Loach.
No, Hugh.
yeah,
Grant,
Hugh Grant.
Any Hugh Grant films.
it's like the stuff that's made to export to the US is
Yeah,
like unbelievably British. It's why Harry Potter's took off so much.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
Harry. Like that's a good example. Harry Potter is annoyingly British for me.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just annoying in general.
it's just annoying in general,
Yeah.
but it is annoyingly British. But this is like British, but it's like British in a sense where it's like relatable enough without taking you out of like. I don't know. I think it does make it more funny because it's like these are all real people who we see on telly.
Yeah,
still,
it's like the bit when he's
like,
walking to the corner shop.
That's
quite
things
British
like
film
that.
trying
Like,
too hard.
Exactly that. It's
Yeah,
all
like,
just
what would a British person do during the zombie apocalypse? Go down
go
to the pub.
I know. It's fair. No, it is. It does make total sense, but it's like, yeah, I think, but like I say, at the same time, I always forget because like everybody kind of bills this very much as a comedy. It is quite a horror. Like it's pretty horrifying at the same time. The effects are like
when he gets pulled out the window and he's getting ripped.
That
well,
bit,
exactly
I'd
what I
watch it.
thought.
Like I think I was too young to be watching this. I think I was about 10. I saw that bit, turned it off. I'd like remembered that scene for years, but didn't know what film it was from. Rewatched it about 6 years ago, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is what that's from."
Yeah,
and I was horrified.
Well,
again.
it's Day of the Dead as well. That's what I mean about this being such a good pastiche, because that scene is just ripped straight out of Day of the Dead, which is really cool. But it's great because it's like in Day of the Dead they do it with like the most, insufferable, awful character who you want to die, and then they do the same thing with this, except it's just a bloke who's like slightly annoying. Like it's like actually it's whatever, let him get ripped to bits. It's quite entertaining. Just gonna kill Sean's mom. You can't have that. But they just have great chemistry. I think that's the thing. The whole cast, they play off each other so well. And I mean, like you say, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. You can see
It Lives
why.
or Dies by Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Yeah,
and that
totally.
goes for the rest of the trilogy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Hot Fuzz as well. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
That Lives or Dies by them. There's other funny bits in it, like the portrait gag.
Oh yeah,
and the fella who, do you know that the big tall guy who works in the supermarket, and all you can say is like yarp.
Yeah.
There's loads of funny gags in it, but it lives and dies.
Do you know the story behind the portrait fella?
Go on.
How in the script they'd written like an evil Timothy Dalton type, and then Timothy Dalton auditioned for it, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is perfect!" that actually literally described him. He was basically the exact image they had for that character. But yeah, I mean, this stuff is so funny.
Yeah, I think my favourite bit in Hot Fuzz is the Peter Ian Staker bit.
Yeah,
Stephen Merchant. I think that bit's really good.
Straight to him.
It's so funny.
I think that's this is the film where they start to hit the mainstream a bit more because there's more recognisable stars in it. Because you've got Timothy Dalton, you've got what's his face, the police chief.
Yeah, Bill Bailey. Oh no,
Jim
sorry.
Broadbent.
Jim Broadbent.
But that's the thing. Even though it's like they are more mainstream, they're still all like quite recognisable, cozy British actor. Like Olivia Colman's in it, and like there's so many different people who you recognise.
I think Olivia Colman was in it right like as Peep Show was starting.
Yeah,
so she was known from that, like from comedies.
I'm pretty sure his girlfriend, who's like the forensic person at the start, played by
Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett.
I thought
that's quite a famous actress. And then you've got the bit at the start before he gets transferred where it's like all these British stars as well working in the police station.
Martin Freeman, Steve Coogan,
and then
Alan Partridge,
and then Bill Nye.
Remember his actual actor's name.
How's the hand? Yeah.
Gonna put us out of a job.
And then I think Edgar Wright plays the Santa Claus who stabs him.
Does he?
I remember seeing someone said that. I thought that was
would
quite
make
funny.
sense.
There's loads of random little bit. That's kind of another thing that's quite good about them. All the random little bit parts.
Yeah.
Because it's just you don't expect it. Like these fairly big actors to just show up and have one line.
I remember when I watched it with my mum, she couldn't believe it. She was like, "Oh my god, like I know like every single actor in this. Like, how did he get all these people?" And I think it's just he just must have been pals with them. I guess because it's like. You always see him I follow him on Instagram, and he always just seems to be bumping into these amazing, like really mainstream actors, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, Edgar Wright, me pal, like he's really cool." So yeah, no, it's and as well, like the music, like they use music really well in these films. So like Shaun of the Dead, the fact that like almost every song on the soundtrack has like the word zombie in the title, or it's related to something like that, and. Hot Fuzz, I mean, the fact that the whole opening montage is goody two shoes, like stuff like that. It's really good to like use it in a way where it's like, it's subtle because like you could still just be like, oh, that's a good, nostalgic pop song in the film. But then you think about it, it's like, oh, that's why they've used that. It's it's
definitely a hallmark that Wright sort of got throughout his whole filmography. Obviously, it becomes more prominent later on, but even in the early stuff, it was still there.
I'm remembering there's so many in Hot Fuzz.
Do you remember
as well.
the Happy Mondays one in Hot Fuzz? where he's arrested them all because they've been drinking, like underage drinking, and he's arrested them all, and it's like, call the cops. I thought that was quite
I remember
funny.
that, and when the people keep dying, and whenever the Timothy Dalton one shows up, he's like the song playing in his car is relating to the murder.
Yeah.
So it's like when the Romeo and Juliet actors have died, he's got Romeo and Juliet by Dire Straits playing, and then after the fella's house is blowing up, he's like got like fire playing. It's like, it's so funny. And he's just like smiling away.
So
like,
underrated.
He is so
he's so
he is
good.
brilliant in it, but like
Right.
but that's the thing. It's like it's just a really good action film as well, because it's like really funny, but like when it gets to the end, I mean, I know they're like intentionally sort of parodying Michael Bay, but they're like parodying it by also just doing a really, really good like Michael Bay shootout in the middle of this small town with a load of like old people like trying to kill them.
I always thought it was like so brutal, but like so awesome when Timothy Dalton's like character gets chucked onto that spike in that model.
Spike
It's like
horrible.
it's like, but I find how it's so funny how he plays it up. Where he's just like, oh, get me some ice cream.
It's so good.
And he's getting wheeled away, and he's just got
Still
that
got
wedge.
it wedged in his mouth.
One of my favourite bits is, I forgot about this. It's near when he's I'm trying to think, like someone at the beginning, he asks for someone's name, and the guy goes, Aaron Aronson, and he thinks they're taking the piss, and then at the end of the film, he asks that kid what his name is, and he goes, Aaron Aronson, and he's like, what? I think that's one of the most like subtle bits. I like that bit as well. But not for
It's
us.
kind of like a joke a minute. So
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
one doesn't hit, you just hit. There's another one around
Yeah,
the
you're
corner.
still thinking about the last one,
Yeah.
and then the next one's going on. Yeah, that is great.
I think one of the underrated lines for me is when he goes, what made you want to be a police officer? What made you want to be a policeman officer? Like that's, I don't know why, just the little bits like that.
You got a mustache. I know.
I know.
It's so funny. He's not Judge Judy and executioner.
So good.
But like, I think like they all like total chameleons as well, because like Simon Pegg in this film in Hot Fuzz, it's still very much Simon Pegg, but he's like a completely unrecognizable character compared to Shaun of the Dead, or for example, at The World's End.
Yeah.
That like in that, I mean, he's not quite like, I mean, but his performance is so good in The World's End.
Yeah,
because
that's what I was on about before. I think that's his best performance.
Yeah,
out of
that's the
three.
one where he like really feels like he's trying the most, even though I mean it's still very much Simon Pegg doing a funny Simon Pegg thing, but it's got so much emotional weight to it.
Bits. Like, what was it? You shout to the end like, "That's all I've got."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I quite like the subversion because it's through the first two. It's Simon Pegg's the fairly responsible one.
The
Nick
straight
Frost's
man,
the bumbling idiot. Then you get to the third one and they completely swap that dynamic.
Yeah.
And that's I thought it was quite a good subversion when I first watched it.
Yeah, totally.
Do you think the other characters in The World's End are as interesting? Though?
No,
Yeah. Like no one's going out for Halloween. What's he called? Oh man.
I think
Dunno,
they're all
it doesn't really depend.
they're all quite blank. I think they're mostly blank slates. It's just most of them are fairly recognizable, but like they're just that's it. They're recognizable actors.
Yeah, I guess they're there. They serve the purpose of being like the sort of the side characters to like Gary King and whatever Nick Frost's character's called. I can't remember, but like it's. I like that though. You're right that it's like that dynamic shifts and. But even then, I mean, it's like that. That's probably the darkest. I think it's easily the darkest out of all three of them, and yet it's still really funny and quite ridiculous.
Yeah, it is the darkest. The world actually ends at the end of it.
That's true. Yeah.
Apocalypse. Cornetto wrapper flying onto the fence.
I think that was really
that
good as
one
well.
bit defines it as the last.
Yeah,
that's the one that
Cornetto
makes
trilogy.
sure you
People
know.
just watching in there, like going like. Just watching the cinema, just all the way this way through, like, where's the Cornetto? Where's the Cornetto? There's the Cornetto! It's like,
thank
now it's
God.
complete.
Yeah.
I think it's also like, I still think it is, because I used to think it was good, but nowhere near as good as the other two. But now, I don't agree with I don't agree with myself. I think it's like
Good to know.
still quite good. It's still really funny. It's the bit when what's he called? He's talking about being bullied in school, and then Gary comes over with the shot and he slams them down. I think that bit's really good as well.
So well, that's the thing. It's really funny, but like it balances it well. I think they all do. It's the key with that is that it's like it's got quite a lot of heart and it's really dark, especially that one. But it's like it's just daft, and it's still really British. It's still like, what would a load of British fellas do if like they found a load of alien people were taking over the world?
Still go to the pub.
Still just go to the pub. Well, that's exactly it.
The pub's like a constant in all three of these films.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Actually, there's not a single one.
I'd not thought of that.
Yeah, the pub, the Brit.
Yeah.
That really
the British
does,
establishment.
The spoons.
that does say
Public
a lot
house.
about
Yeah, that's
what
would happen. Actually, they do sort of make a joke, like kind of about that in World's End, because when they go back to the town, they're going
the
to the pubs. It's all just,
Starbucks did.
Yeah, it's all just changed that are serving the exact same beer and the exact same.
I remember that.
But like, I suppose that's all pubs really now, isn't it? Though.
Yeah,
because it's
kinda.
It's like, what's it called? Hungry Horse and Sizzling Grill.
Hungry Horse. Never heard that.
You never been to Hungry Horse?
Well, it's like. It's just one of these things like Wetherspoons where it's like just a chain that buys out pubs and takes them over.
Yeah, it is. There used to be one near me when I was a kid that I used to go to. I loved it.
Yeah, but
Beefy
now,
as
yeah,
well.
You drank
anyway. I didn't drink when I was a kid, but
I suppose it kind of links to the change because World's End came out quite a bit after the other two, didn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, it was like
2013.
every couple of
About 5
years,
years
I think.
after.
So
I suppose it shows like a bit of a change in culture as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
the first two, it's family-owned pubs that they go into, and then the ones in World's End are all these chain ones.
Yeah, because I suppose the first one was like sort of right out of the 90s, wasn't it? Because it was still, well, it was 2004.
2004.
So
It's
it
very,
wasn't that
very
long
early
after.
2000s.
Yeah.
Whereas The World's End is quite nostalgic for the 90s because it makes quite a point of being like, oh, we finished school in the 90s, and then the whole soundtrack's all, like Britpop and that kind of like 90s music, and it's leaning into it, but it's not nostalgic for the sake of being nostalgic. It's nostalgic because that's the whole premise, that it's a character who is far too nostalgic.
Yeah.
But
I still find it very, like, I think one of my favourite scenes just music-wise in The World's End is when they are first venturing out and So Young by Suede starts playing that song.
I love that.
And just with, like, Gary being a mentalist. Like, and then,
good.
like, I just think it's such a cool
It's also
way
probably
to
one of the
open
greatest.
thing.
I think it might be the best opening out of all of them as well, because
I think Hot Fuzz is still my favourite.
I mean, Hot Fuzz is my favourite, but I love that when they do the whole story and then it cuts to them in like an A&E and you suddenly realise what's been going on.
It's quite sad, I think.
It is quite sad,
like
but
it
it's
sets
like,
the tone. Like,
He's a broken man, Gary King.
is.
Like, he's just kind of let go of the past. Like, it's
that's why Simon Pegg, I think he's like criminally underrated.
oh, he's
dead,
genuinely
dead funny
really, really good actor.
But at the same time, he's like, it's quite like, I would say it's quite nuanced as well.
Yeah.
I think he's really, really cool character. I think it's Simon Pegg's favourite.
It's his favourite. Yeah, I
I
think.
remember seeing an interview where he says that. But yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
But yeah.
And then speaking on actors, I think are criminally underrated. Michael Cera.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think the reason he took longer to do The World's End was because he was doing Scott Pilgrim versus the World in Between, which is my favourite Edgar Wright film. So
Is it?
yeah,
Really?
100%.
No way.
I know. What a
Never
surprise!
heard
You'll need to enlighten me on why.
Enlighten you on
So
why.
I thought he was over-egging it for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
No, it's
Let-
so.
let- watch
Let
it
a true
last night.
Pilgrim head
I
speak.
watched it last night. It's really good. Go on then, Pilgrim Head.
I'm not taking that. It's well, I guess I can't. The best way to try and sell it is it's basically like it's a video game film that's not adapting a video game, so it's got all of the sort of structure, humor, and like visual style of like if Edgar Wright was adapting a video game, but it's its own premise. It's basically the whole concept is, the structure of it is like a video game. He wants to go out with this girl, but he's got to fight 7 bosses and then the final boss. All of that, 7 evil exes, to go out with Ramona Flowers, and all the while, learning things about himself and realizing that he's actually a bit of a dickhead and he shouldn't be. And yes,
I think that's putting it lightly.
I mean,
can't stand him.
he's a total dickhead, but that's the whole thing. He's supposed to be. I think that's what everybody gets caught off guard with this film, because it's like he's not supposed to be like he's like a really heroic figure who everyone looks up to. Everybody treats him like shit, and rightfully so, because he is, like he's an arsehole, really. So like the only sort of morally redeeming character in the whole film is Wallace Wells.
Steals someone's
and even
boyfriend.
he starts going out with other people's boyfriends. So it's like
That bit's really funny when
that is hilarious.
When he wakes up and there's like 3 other people in the same bed.
What's that other Scott? There's like 3 different people called Scott all in the same bed. And you didn't bang her? What are you, gay? It's like the gay guy lying in bed with them. It's like, but that's the thing. It's like the comic timing is just so on point and like it's so over the top. Like I know all of the others are quite far fetched. Like Shaun of the Dead is like, oh, zombie apocalypse, and Hot Fuzz is like, oh, evil cult, and World's End, oh, aliens. But even that seems like totally normal compared to the things that happen in this film. I mean, like
people get punched into change.
He kills people. Yeah.
Literally, like, oh yeah, he killed. Well, do you know how that works though? I mean, you won't because you've only just watched the film. Apparently, according to the guy who wrote the comics, when they get punched into change, they respawn in the house and just decide to be a really nice person. So they just wake up as if none of it ever happened. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna be class today."
Okay.
And then, but yeah, so like I say, people just explode into change. Video game logic. You know, he gets like a 1-up at one point, which then saves him later on in the film. There's like mind control. Everyone can just fight as well. That's the other thing that I love about this film. At no point do they really explain how Scott Pilgrim, this scrawny bass player, is like a really, really good like martial artist. Like it just happens.
I think
and
that's
he just
the least of his
starts
worries. Scott has like vegan superpowers, and he punched like a hole in the moon.
Oh, Todd.
Yeah, Todd. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's really funny because like even in the comic of that, they're like making a massive Akira parody where he has like Tetsuo powers and he like goes to like the lab with all of the like kids and stuff. And they don't do that as much in the film, but even that, like, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then the fact that the vegan police are the people
that was the best bit. That was the funniest bit.
So
milk and eggs, bitch. That was the funniest thing.
That's the funniest part. They do all of that, and then after that, they like try to do. He's like gonna get closure with Envy. And he's like, "Oh, sorry about that." And it's like, "You just headbutted my boyfriend so hard he burst," and then that's it. They just leave it.
Did Envy like come back in the books?
Yeah. I
was gonna say because it feels very abrupt in the film. Well, that's one of my problems.
This is one of my problems with the film. It's really good, and it's a really good adaptation, and it is probably one of the best comic adaptations I've ever seen. To the point where like it's up to a point. It's like frame by frame. Like if I watched a video where somebody had like put all of the panels alongside the frames from the film, and it looks exactly the same. It literally couldn't be any more faithful. But just like Akira, they hadn't finished writing the actual book series when they made the film. So the tested 2 endings, the original ending he gets with knives. But yeah,
he doesn't learn his lesson.
Exactly that. But the test audience were like, Jesus Christ, you can't do that. It was like the whole point of the film was that he's fighting to get with Ramona. So then they changed it. You can't. The deleted scenes are really interesting though because they are still out there somewhere. But yeah. So like I say, a lot of the stuff that happens in the film is quite rushed and gets expanded much better in the book. But I think, because I've read the book, I know that, you know, there is another answer out there, so it kind of makes us, I can forgive the film. Yeah. It's like, I know deep down that, like, that's not 100% what they were going for. If that was it, if that was all we were left with, I would feel a little bit disappointed, but I can see why. And to be honest, it's like, they probably didn't want to make it too long either. Yeah. Like, it is pushing 2 hours. It's pushing 2 hours, and I think it gets everything it needs to get in. Yeah. And it's paced really well. Because like, in the book, I think the whole plot takes place over a few years. Like, it's not just like over like a week or however long it happens in the film.
Well, yeah, they make him into a wronging in the books as well.
That's true.
Which one's?
Like one
ginger
panel.
one.
Oh,
drummer.
Impine. Your life had a face, I would punch it. But yeah, I just like I say, it's just, I think it's so good, and it's another one that it uses music really well because obviously the fact that they're in a band and they've got.
Like, I like the young Neil joke.
Any joke with young Neil is just great. He's just so funny, but yeah, and like, you know, it's just so full of references to like video games and stuff. Like almost loads of characters and loads of bands and things in the film are named after like obscure NES games, and like it's just. Well, I mean, what can I say about Scott?
It's a
Pilgrim?
film made in a lab for you.
Yeah,
It really
exactly
is.
that. I mean, it very much targets a specific niche of the worst kind of white person, And I think
Did you like base your life on that film?
I didn't base
At least
my
you
life
After
on it.
watching it, I'm starting to think you did.
I was already like that before I watched the film,
That's
which
frightening.
is worrying. Yeah, because that was the thing. That was another one. I was like Brooke really hyped it up, and I was like, oh, is it going to be as good as she says? And I was like, shit, it is that good.
It is good.
And I watched it, and then did a whole deep dive, read the books, played the video game,
Yeah.
sort of indulged in it as much as I could, and that's why it's my favorite, because it's like, I mean, it's so Edgar Wright, but it's also not, it's not, it's not as British, it's not as like Simon Peggy,
Yeah.
but it still has like,
It's got his style.
it's got
very
his style,
stylish.
it's got him written all over it, it's got his like really rapid jokes and like that sort of comedic timing, and like there's so much attention paid to everything that's going on, like everything happens for a reason, and the visuals, I just think it works really well that he is trying to like get all the video game stuff in, because you can, I mean, you can tell he's a bit of a nerd. You can tell they're all nerds. I mean, that was where Spaced came from, but yeah, so I think he was the perfect choice for it, and I'm glad that he's still like attached to the franchise somewhat. Like, he's not really doing that much with it, but like I say, the fact that Simon Pegg and Nick Frost cameoed in the anime, like they know that the people who like Edgar Wright films also like Scott Pilgrim. Like, there's a lot of overlap. So yeah, I hope that sold you, Connell. It's really, really good.
I like Lucas Lee in it.
I like Jason
Lucas Lee's
Schwartzman in it. He's
that's
really funny.
that's the other thing. It's like such an unbelievably stacked cast, just like all the others. Like, there's like two moments in the film that I feel like always blow people's minds. It's the opening with the cast, when you see like all these people before they were really famous, like a load of like MCU actors in like a sort of non-superhero comic adaptation. And then the bit where Matthew Patel shows up and it becomes a musical, like just spontaneously, because it's quite normal and down to earth at that point, and then he just starts singing. But that's like the only musical number.
I
in the
thought
whole
I like
film.
missed something. And then you came in, I was like, what the hell's going on?
Even
I was like,
addressing the film. What? Just as soon as he starts singing.
It's so well, that's it. Even the fact that the characters are like aware of how ridiculous the whole thing is, it's like, it's really good. But
Speaking of music, Baby Driver.
Yep.
That was my favourite for a while.
Really, yeah.
Pretty good.
What changed?
Yeah, I wonder what changed.
Kevin Spacey, Connell. He's in this.
And
Kevin Spacey.
And Ansel
Elgort.
Elgort. It's like,
Oh yeah,
like
he
a
did
little
something.
ticky box.
I don't want to know what he did.
But Paul Williams is in it, so that
What?
makes sense.
I don't even remember that.
Paul Williams cameos in it.
Does he?
Yeah, he does, because
That's who?
Edgar Wright is a massive fan of Phantom of the Paradise, and he shows up as one of the, like, the bit at the end when they like go to the mob boss, and then Jamie Foxx like starts like shooting at them, and they're all like, "Oh, what have you done that for?" And it's like Paul Williams is the little mob boss.
That's
guy.
pretty cool.
I watched it like last month. I didn't notice that.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Anyway, I
Whoa.
think I haven't seen it in a while.
Imagine if
but
it's not him.
That's another one with a really randomly stacked cast, I feel.
This is what I mean. Like, he pulls so much, like so many really big Hollywood actors, because like you say, it's the two wrong uns notwithstanding, you get John Hamm and Jamie Foxx,
John
and
Bernthal.
John Bernthal, like
John's.
a lot of Johns.
I'm sure
Elliott.
I'm blanking on her name, but I'm sure the love interest didn't she play Cinderella or something?
Oh my god, she's it's that. She's in the Sky adverts.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm sure she played
I
Cinderella.
can't remember what she's called though. Yeah,
She's in the
Just
sky.
Lily James or something like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Lily James. That's
I
the
almost said
one.
Lily Allen then.
I nearly said Lily Allen, because I always
At
think
first,
her,
you
but
nearly said it.
Lily James. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one.
But yeah,
and,
it's pretty good. It's one of the only
It
films
is
that
really
I've got like the vinyl for the soundtrack.
oh
for it all.
yeah, well yeah.
It's banger soundtrack, pretty good performances, super stylish.
Good action.
It just feels like a complete departure from Wright's style, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's still got the things that you would
It's like
expect from it,
Hollywoodified.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly
Edgar
that.
Wright.
It's his style, just very, very Hollywoodified.
Yeah.
which is kind of what I'm expecting out of this Running
The
Man.
Yeah,
Glenn Powell.
I can't wait for that.
The opening scene in Baby Driver is so good.
It is.
It
I
is
love
really
it.
good.
I like the
Yeah.
bit when they're robbing the bank as well, and like something goes wrong, so he has to restart the music.
Yeah.
And then like they're all sat in the car looking at him. And he's like, "All right, now."
Is
go."
that when they've got the Mike Myers?
I was going to say
Yes,
that's
Mike Myers.
instead of Michael
that's my
Myers.
favourite gag.
That's
Oh yeah,
so
Flea's in this as well.
Yes, he is.
That's
Flea's in this. There's so
Forgot
many
about
just like
that.
people who
Bloody
show
hell.
up, and you're like,
Right.
oh my god, like what are they doing in this? But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like it makes sense, It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know I really like it. I think it's like
I think it's underappreciated.
It is. Well, I thought it was quite. It's one of those films that was like all film bro-y, and it's like, oh yeah, this is really good. But then I think it sort of faded a bit as time gone on.
I think I went through a phase of thinking it was really overrated because I rewatched it around that time when everybody was like, like meat riding it online and saying, oh, it's like the greatest thing ever, and it was like, it's really good. But it is very much just like Edgar Wright directing a Hollywood action film.
Yeah,
there it is. That's him. He did it. It's not like it's not like life changing, but it's still really good. I think it's just, I don't think it's as like, I think it is a bit more, it's just a bit more generic.
It's toned down a bit more.
That's the thing, which I like it, but it's not like, unlike Scott Pilgrim or like the Cornetto trilogy where it's like, oh, it's got all the video games.
It feels like someone else could have directed it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's very niche, very specialized. Oh, it's British. It's got all the pubs. It's like really funny and relatable. Baby Driver's just like, oh yeah, it's an action film with a big A-list cast, and
that's why I'm dubious about Running Man. We'll go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it reminded me, he was meant to do Ant-Man, wasn't he?
He was.
That's what that reminded me of.
That's literally. I grieve that.
What? The Edgar Wright.
The fact, because his name's still in the credits.
Really?
Yeah, because they took elements from his story, and then because they didn't want to give, because Marvel's Marvel,
they didn't want to give him full.
They didn't want to give him creative control. So there he went, and then we've gotten the Ant-Man franchise that we've gotten, which the first one's fine, and then the next two are pretty terrible,
pretty bad. Yeah. Oh well, there you go. But I feel like the Running Man, like, I know what you mean about it. It's like it does look like it could be quite generic Hollywood, but it's because he's been talking about, like, there's another thing, you just see him, he talks about all sorts online, but he's been talking about how much he's wanted to do like a more faithful adaptation of the Running Man novel for like years. And where this, I think it's, a lot of people are just thinking, oh, it's just a remake of the 80s film. I think it'll be really interesting to see Edgar Wright do a remake. But, he's not going to be like, he's not just going to be like a Hollywood shill, I don't think, and be like, oh, I'll just remake the original. I think he wants to remake it for a reason, like, because the original isn't, I mean, I love it, but it's not a great film.
He's not just going to be one of these, like, corporate stooges that they get into direct the next legacy sequel or the next remake.
He's at that point in his career, I think, where he can get away with like doing these big budget Hollywood A-list films, but as long as he still keeps his style and his vision, which I hope this will have, because it looks like it's going to be like, oh, I've read the book, I love the book, the original didn't do it justice, so here I am, I'm going to do it justice, but also make it like a very entertaining action film with the big action star at the minute, Glenn Powell, who I really like, to be fair. I'm a little bit biased because I really like him, but it's also still got Michael Cera in as well, like, and I've seen him in the trailer, and I think it'll be good to see him working with Michael Cera again, and it's probably another one that's just going to be absolutely chock full of ridiculously high tier like actors that probably
Josh
only
Brolin's in it as well.
Who is?
Josh Brolin.
Oh yeah, well there you go. Josh Brolin. Is it Carmen Domingo who's playing the sort of like Killian host character?
And then they've got Arnie on the
Arnie on the dollar bill. Yeah. Well there you go. It's little details like that, or it's like paying tribute to the original, but also like making it his own thing. And I mean, this might age really badly. It might be a terrible film.
Maybe.
Another one that I think keeps up his style, you mentioned it before. You I know you're not as big of a fan, but Last Night in Soho.
Yeah.
I think it's got the style.
I think it's very stylish, and that one's also a bit more of a return to the British roots, I think, which is quite interesting. But like, I don't know. It's been a while since I watched it, and I don't hate it. I just think that like, it's one of those ones where like it kind of undoes the whole, because they like set up the whole thing where it's she like goes back in time, she realizes, oh, she's been so mistreated by Matt Smith and these like evil men in the 60s. That's so awful. But then they twist it at the end. It's like, oh no, she's the evil killer. It's like,
well, no, I'd say I would disagree there, because it's sort of like, it's one of those films that I think you would classify as good for her. Because all these men have mistreated her. So she snaps and she kills them all. And then she basically gets away with it in the end.
That's the thing. I can see what you mean. I feel like the first time I watched it, it was like, it wasn't so much good for her. It was more like, oh god, she was the villain the whole time. And then the Thomasin McKenzie one, I can't remember the character's name. She's like, oh my god, she's evil, and she's like, really scared of her all of a sudden, even though she was like sympathetic to her the whole time because she'd been like living her life or whatever.
I think the reason I like it so much, I think it's a really good cast. I think Matt Smith, really underrated actor. I don't think he's got nearly enough work since Doctor Who, but he's starting to get some more now.
He was in Morbius. He was so good in that.
Ever since House of the Dragon, he's been getting more work, so I'm appreciative of that.
He's good in Court Stealing.
I was just about to say.
He was pretty good in that. And then, Anya Taylor-Joy, brilliant.
I think they're
Mackenzie.
All really good. Thomasin McKenzie's
fresh off the heels of Jojo Rabbit.
That's true.
Really good.
Yeah. And Anya Taylor-Joy is. It's cool. I think it is because it's quite an interesting premise as well. Like I like the fact that it was like you can tell because I remember seeing all the press about it, and you could just tell he was like really into the whole swinging 60s London.
I love the 60s.
Like that aesthetic is so good. And I probably like it more now if I watched it again now because I'm quite into that.
Yeah, I've not seen it in years.
I never was really at the time. I just thought it was like, evil British people.
I would have to Google it then because I had a really weird like Mandela effect. I honestly thought Cilla Black was in this. Like somebody playing Cilla Black. But they refer to it as the next Cilla Black.
That's the kind of style it is, where it's like she's like this fictionalized Scylla-esque.
But you were talking then, and I was thinking, I swear to God, Cilla Black's in this film.
Is it?
Surprise, surprise,
surprise, surprise.
The older version of Anya Taylor-Joy. Oh, what's the actress's name? She was in like the Avengers in the 60s and stuff. I can't remember what she's called. But
I know who you mean.
Yeah, and the name will come back to me. But even she being in it is like quite cool. That's like quite like.
I like that.
Household British actress and like that kind of commitment to the bit where it's like they're all it's a very British film, which I really didn't picture him making more of those after like stuff like Baby Driver and like I mean maybe I'm just butthurt I wasn't old enough to see it in the cinema. I think I remember seeing all the adverts and thinking this looks awesome and then I couldn't go see it.
Well, maybe I might be misremembering, but wasn't like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost like meant to be doing another film with him?
I have heard they were talking about
I know they did a film together a few years ago where it's
Paul.
It's not Paul. Not Paul actually.
I saw Paul.
But it's a film where I always used to think it was Edgar Wright, but it's not. It's Simon Pegg and Nick Frost at like it's like they're at like it's like a comedy. They're at like some sort of high school and there's like murders going on.
Right.
And that was like swept under the rug. It must have been terrible.
Christ, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, but I remember thinking that was Edgar Wright for a long time, but it was terrible, so it couldn't have been.
I know Paul was very much an attempt to ride the coattails of the
I used to love Paul.
trilogy.
Have you watched it? It's fucking terrible.
I haven't seen it in years, but it's like that's a weird one because it's like unlike where Edgar Wright probably could have got away with it, it's that awful clash of like the American humor with the British humor.
Yeah.
It's way more American than it is British, so it like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost just seem really out of place in it.
I mean, it's got one cool line in it from Bill Hader where some guy's like trying to kill Paul and he's like they're like driving alongside each other and he shouts at Bill Hader, he goes, I'm on a mission from God, and Bill Hader goes, tell him he failed and kills him. That's like the one good part of Paul, and then you can turn it off.
It's just weird though, because like it would be like, imagine if you put Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in like Ted or something. That's always how I picture it. Because it's like that kind of era of like
that would be kind of weird.
Yeah, that
or like Step Brothers or something.
Yeah, exactly that. Because it was Seth Rogen's the voice of Paul. I'm sure he probably wrote it as well. So it's like,
he did?
Yeah, so it's it's not really the right kind of thing, but anyway, the right kind of thing.
So Seth Rogen, I was like, I thought you said Seth MacFarlane.
No,
I was like, did he not already do that with American Dad?
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane wrote Ted, but
I know he did
Seth
that.
Rogen
He is Ted.
He is Ted as well. Yeah, granted.
Oh, I can't believe you've reminded us about that Ant-Man film, and I'm gutted again.
you just moved on. You were ready.
Do you reckon they'll get him to do a Marvel film in the future?
I don't think so. I think I could see him doing something under James Gunn at DC, but I couldn't see him going back to Marvel after they've basically shafted him.
I'd love him to do something.
I think he's better than all of that now.
But
I think he's moved past it. Like I don't really think he would need to. So
I could see him going over to, because James Gunn seems to be trying to foster like actual filmmakers to come over and give them an environment to work with. Because he had like, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name, but Luca
Guadagnino.
Yeah, they had him attached to Sergeant Rock. I don't think it's happening anymore, but and then what's his face, the guy who did like Logan and
James Mangold.
James Mangold's attached to Swamp Thing, and You know, he's still working with Matt Reeves on Batman.
I think however many new directors James Gunn gets will entirely depend on how much of his playlist he still has left to share. I think it'll depend how much.
It's a match made in heaven. Edgar Wright with all of his music.
Well, exactly that. Yeah, like Edgar Wright, the way he uses music is very similar to James Gunn, and he always goes for like cool deep cuts and like songs that you wouldn't expect, and it's always really subtle. I mean, it was like the thing I was saying yesterday with Under My Thumb and Scott Pilgrim, where it's like, you know, it's I'd never noticed at the time until I rewatched it. I was like, oh, because the song's all about like a possessive boyfriend, and then it was like, so Gideon is listening to that in his car, and like it's just like little details like that. That's what sets him apart, and I hope to see more of that in his future output.
This has sort of made us think like he hasn't had as many films as you would expect, but they're all solid. They're all bangers.
Well, I think that's probably why, because he's almost doing the Quentin Tarantino thing without shoving it down your throat that he's only going to do 10. It's like, yeah, well, nobody gives a fuck. Like, just make however many films you want. Just make them good. And like, I get his logic. I know why he keeps saying that, because he's like, I don't want to overdo it and make like Megalopolis in 70 years like Francis Ford Coppola or whatever. But you don't need to make a point of that. You don't need to prove anything. Just make what you want to make and then stop.
He seems like quite a chill guy, and it comes through in his work.
Yeah, Edgar Wright's like, he just seems really down to earth. He's one of them people I'd love to meet. I feel like he's like him, Simon Pegg, that like whole crew of them. I'd love to just like have a beer, and like I know they're. I think he like you say, he fosters a really good environment, because I know the Scott Pilgrim cast, apparently their email chain that they used to keep in touch when they made that film, they still keep in touch with that, which is how it's so easy to get them all back for that anime, which Edgar Wright also produced.
You know, so, Edgar Wright and co. If you want to come along to CineClub,
come on, we'd love to have you here.
Shit myself if you came through that door.
Imagine. I love him. He's just class. So
yep, I think that's
shut up, you.
Right, I think that's all the secret cults and evil exes we have time for. We're off down to the Winchester to have a nice cold pint and wait for all this to blow over. What's your favourite Edgar Wright film? Let us know at cineclub.podcast@sparksunderland.com.
You can also check us out on social media at the CineClub podcast _spark on Instagram, at the.cineclub.podcast on TikTok, or the CineClub podcast on Facebook.
As always, this episode was recorded and produced by us, the Sunderland University students, as well as being edited by Emily Main. And a special thanks go out to Steve Cannon, Barbara Sadler and Richard Berry. A reminder that our 4 getaway drivers this week have consisted of me, Billy,
me, Jake,
me, Connell,
and me, Matthew. This has been a CineClub production for Spark. Thanks for listening.